Baaba Maal is a Senegalese musician who has been singing since he was 11 years old. Since 1988, he has released 10 albums. He has traveled the world with messages of positivity, unity, education for all, and female empowerment through his music. In Tobago for the first time, where he headlined at the Voices of Freedom concert, the Information Department got to meet the musician, who is also a youth emissary for the United Nations. He opened up about the challenges of being African, making it in the West, the influence that Nelson Mandela has on his music, and the reasons for his support of the fight against HIV/AIDS. We learned that Baaba Maal is a man who is more than just an entertainer.
I grow up so being able to listen to all these proverbs, all these storytellers, all this music that teach me my history, my cultural background, and how to stand up like to get my responsibility in the society. And like a young musician, I said I need to bring myself inside of it and to pass it to the next generation. So I did start to sing when I was 11 with the advice of my parents first, but also with the advice of some traditional musicians who teach me a lot of things. I went to school and I started to play music, and I go to France and came back and formed this band, and I said I'm going to call this band The Voice of the People. It's going to be the voice that's going to carry on my culture, my tradition, the music that was explained, that expressed itself through my language, my family language. I'm a Fulani. And this is why, and the music can also talk about all the aspiration of the young generation. Because when I came into music, we had a lot of restriction, a lot of caste system. When you are not from these families of musicians, you are not allowed to be singing or performing. So my generation wanted to change all of that. So, but the only way that we could have making it happen is to sing about it and to make it worldwide, and people will come to join us in this decision. It's Nelson Mandela. Some years ago, we was doing a concert for him in at Trafalgar Square in London. After the concert, he asked all the musicians to come to join him in his office, the ANC office. And he said something really strong. Say, you musicians, you have messages that can arrive in living rooms, in apartments, in houses, where the message of politicians can arrive sometime, because you use music, and music is not something that hurts sometimes. And you should be aware about that power and to use it to promote all the good things that can help people to be living in harmony. Also, I admire all these traditional African musicians around the 60s who, because they wanted to say something after the colonialism, after they get their independence, they wanted to say something about Africa, and they used the music to say it. I have my first signature with a big record label 15 years ago with Island Record ruled by Chris Blackwell. And I think I can't say I didn't have that much challenge, because when you get the respect from a record company, which is more like a business company, to accept that you can lead the decision of what you want to do with your music, that's really respectable thing. So when I started to sign up with them, I said I'm gonna promote the real African music. And my first album was real traditional acoustic album, one of the first acoustic albums that came out from Africa. And most of the other musicians, they did follow me. But sometimes it's not easy to put African music, which is a music that includes a lot of elements of whatever you call the business in the music, like R&B, hip hop, jazz music, reggae music. It's all incorporated in African music. But in the essence of African music, you can't figure that it has its place in the market. So that's something we need to see be happening. This is why we have to make some to compromise sometimes. I think that's for me that's a good point of Africa. The bad thing I can say is we don't have the opportunity to express that much ourselves to explain. This is why we are desperate to use the technology to show what's behind the music, because we sing in African languages. Most of the people who love African music all around the world, they don't know these languages. And languages catch a lot of things inside of it. This is, I think, where we should concentrate to make it brighter. Yeah, from the continent sometimes, because my career is very special because, like I said, I start with a very traditional album. And some of the older generation, they say, yes, that's the music and the tradition that we know. And when I started to work with people like Peter Gabriel, and then some people in the electronic side of the music, some of this old generation, they say, what is he doing? That's not our music. But at the same time, the young generation was saying, yes, this is the next step of African music, because we are part of the world. We are living in the third millennium now, and we need to be connected to the rest of the world to play the same music, to speak the same universal language, which is just music with all its elements. For me, electronic music, traditional music, they all work together. But sometimes it's a problem of generations. But it's not bad. You just have to know about where is the balance. I think I don't take music and performing like just an entertainment. I take it like a classroom, like someone who come to see my concert can have also hear something, see something, and learn something also, and participate to have a good point of view of Africa. My message is a message of peace. It's a message of love. It's a message of people to be together, to use culture to communicate. It's an easy way to communicate, to pass information, to exchange ideas and experiences. And it's also a message to give power to women. We're talking about HIV/AIDS and some diseases, but when you travel in Africa, you see people, the young generation, they're strong. They never drop their hands, even when they face poverty. They wake up early in the morning, they go everywhere to find good opportunities, to bring back home. And that's good energy, to help this young generation to go through this new millennium, to be healthy, but also to have a good education. Because without good education, I don't think we can make it. I think education is the biggest gift that we can send to the next generation in the whole world, but especially in places like Africa. They can't be into music. because music is something that I say everyone, if I have a wish to do, everyone should be able to touch a little bit an instrument of music, because we having so many rough time in the life that if you can have in the day 1 or 2 hours with your guitar or your keyboard or your drum or dancing, just to express yourself, it will help you. No one can stop the way that life goes. The life goes to give more power and more democracy and less corruption and more knowledge to the next generation. And that's the aspiration of people, so the leaders should know about it. Every leader who wants to do good should be listening to and trying to see what's happening in North Africa and be aware about what's going to be next. Now I can say, yes, we can, because at the beginning, all these last years since he was elected, I was saying I'm expecting him to think about Africa, because he's African in a way. And when he was elected, most of the Africans was there and say, yes, we have someone really close to us. Maybe he's going to think about all our problems and be part of some of the solutions. But at the same time, he knew that he is American. He have to work first for the United States. He came there because there was a lot of problem in the United States. Have to fix it. So he should be focused on that first. And it was taking time. Now, at once, his government is starting to think about African descendants, and I think it's a good thing. I'm so happy to get the opportunity also to be participating to make the connection between the African heritage and the Africans together, because we have to project ourselves to the future, and to project ourselves to the future we need to be together. We can't do it separately. We have a lot of knowledge, a big heritage, a very strong culture, a lot of knowledge that we can share together, and different experiences we can share together. And it's good to be at some time to be together and to think about it. But it's to do it in a good way, to do it with culture, with music, with performing. It's a good way to bring the message and to make it spread in the places.
Bandela, Saylam Bandela, Mini Dandeman, Yigra Mundanya Vele, Jagan and Dunya, Saylam Bandela, Mini Dandeman, Yigra Mundanya. dunya be ina garana jalan ma de ina garana pija ta non ko ande ma won ko nyede ma dañi ko nyam fa to